Do you feel like life's remote control is in everybody's hands but yours? Do you feel like you have so many tasks to do, so many things that you need to get done, but there never seems to be enough time to handle all of these things? Well, by the end of this video, if you can stay till the end, you'd be able to fit all of these tasks into 24 hours and do these things well. I, for one, have a lot of things that I currently do. I have spiritual responsibilities in school, academic responsibilities, I have a discipleship program, I have a business, I'm about to start another one, I'm learning to code, I'm currently doing my IT, and there's literally no day in the week that I don't have a meeting, some days 2 to 3 meetings. And I seem to find a way to balance all of these things. In fact, that's the question that I ask most. How do you balance all the things that you're currently doing? Well, there's a particular strategy that I use to do all of these things, and if you can stay till the end, I would explain this in detail and in practicality, how you can implement this for yourself and begin to lead a life that is in your own control. After a long period of time of trying to find exactly what works, how exactly can we balance things, reading books, testing different things, I invented a strategy called the ideal method. I hope nobody has said this before, right? And it basically has to do with 4 different steps, and then if you can implement all of these steps, you'd be able to get your life back on track. So I'd be explaining these 4 different steps and how exactly you can use them, and then afterwards I'll be planning my whole life in front of you guys, just so you can see exactly how you can do it. So I wouldn't just explain, but I would implement these strategies live so you can see exactly how you can use them for yourself. Like I said, the ideal method consists of 4 different steps, and the first step is called the perfect day. Now, the perfect day basically consists of a day that is the most productive. So the most productive day that you can possibly envision is what exactly I like to call the perfect day. And every step is very important, so make sure you take note of these things. So the perfect day, like I said, is the most productive day that you can possibly ever have, right? So it's a day where you are not doing things that are necessarily compulsory or unproductive. So for example, the reason why you don't have 24 hours to do all the tasks that you need to do is because in between those 24 hours, you have to eat, you have to sleep, you have to go to the toilet, and all these type of things. These are things that are very compulsory. They are not necessarily productive. They are things that you need to do to stay alive. But in a perfect day, all of these things don't count. All of these things are not there. In a perfect day, all you're doing is the things that you love to do: working, building, creating, doing your tasks, and all these type of things, right? So write down all the tasks that you'll be doing in a perfect day. So in a day where you don't have to sleep. In fact, in a day where it's more than 24 hours, say there are 48 hours in a day, or 58 hours in a day, or 50, 60, 70 hours in a day, and you don't get tired, you don't get burnt out, that's the perfect day. Of course, this day never exists, right? But you need to write down all the things that you can possibly do. This is the first step. So brainstorm all the things that you will do in this type of day, and then write down all of that into a list. Like I said, don't put sleeping, don't put eating, don't put going to the toilet, don't put any of these things, right? Just write down all the tasks that you'll be doing in a perfect day, and that's the first step. If you're enjoying the content so far, or you've come across it before and you like what I do and you've not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you. Then the second step is what I call the ideal task. Now, these are tasks that are compulsory. All right, these are tasks that are compulsory for you to do. So you need to write all of these things down. So the first thing that you would do, so the ideal task is broken into 2. You would have the compulsory every single day, and then you have the tasks that are not compulsory every single day. So for the tasks that are compulsory every single day, you're going to write them down. So for example, you need to obviously sleep every single day. Hopefully, you need to eat at a certain point every single day. For example, when I'm in school, we have devotion in school morning and evening, right, by 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. So you can write that these are things that must happen every single day. I have classes every single day when I'm in school, right? So write everything that you are doing, that you need to do every single day. If you're doing your IT and you need to go to work every single day, write that down, all right? Then in the second part, you're going to write down things that you don't necessarily have to do every day. But what exactly are you going to do? You are going to write the minimum amount of times that you need to do them, not the maximum, the minimum. It can increase in the next steps, but in this particular step, write the minimum. So for example, say you want to start going to the gym, and you want to start going to the gym 5 times a week, right? But you know that if for some reason push comes to shove and you can only go to the gym, say 2 times a week or 3 times a week, even though that's not your goal, at least you'd be okay. Write that down, all right? And you would understand why in the coming steps. But for the bits that are not compulsory every single day, write down the minimum you have to do them. So for example, when I'm in school, Reading is not part of my, like reading school books is not part of the things I have to do every single day, right? So I would write the minimum amount of times I have to read. So say it's okay, I need to read at a minimum 2 times every week, right? 2 days in a week, even though maybe I want to read 4 times or 5 times, I don't. But let's assume that's what it is. I want to read 4 times or 5 times or 6 times in a week. I would write the minimum that would make me, even if I can get this done, at least I'm satisfied. Same thing with my books. So that's my self-development books, productivity books, all these things. So for the tasks that are not compulsory every single day, write down only the minimum it will take to complete the task. Like I said, it can increase in the next steps. Now is not the time where you're planning your activities, you're just writing and listing these things down. The third step is your actual day/week. All right, the actual things that you are currently doing. Now, the ideal tasks are things that you are either doing or that you want to start doing more. All right, so but for the actual day, these are things that you currently are doing. So for example, if you're in school, your school life or work-life balance. If you're in school, your school life. If you're at work, your work life. So say you're doing an IT from 9 to 5. You're going to put that there, right? These are not things that you can take out. They may not necessarily be productive tasks. That's not important, but these are things that you are currently doing that cannot be removed from your day, because and the reason why this step is important is because we have to work around this, because these are things that are fixated. You can't change it. So in school, let's say on Mondays I have classes from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. I'm going to put that there, right? Let's say I have chapel program in my school. Chapel programs are some chapel programs are compulsory. So on Wednesday we have to go to chapel from I think 10:30 to 12. So I'm going to put that there because I can't change it. I have to work only around it. So that's what you're doing. So one thing that helps me with this step is I get my school timetable, and I just lay that down. All right, put that down. Okay, this is my school timetable. Then these are extracurricular activities that I'm doing that are compulsory for me. Right, these are things that I can't work around. Like there are some programs in school that I can't miss. They are voluntary, but I just can't miss. Right, so I put all of these things down, and this is what we call your actual day/week, because we are going to work around it. We're not going to shift these things because they are unshiftable, they are movable, right? So this is exactly what you need to do, and this part is extremely important. So make sure you're not missing out on anything. All right, like I mentioned at the start of the video, I have meetings every single day, so I need to write down the days and the time for this meeting in this particular step, and it's extremely important because for these meetings I can't miss them. I can only work around them. So basically anything that you can't cut out of your life currently. Then the fourth and the final step is what we call your ideal day. This is a combination of your ideal task and then your actual day/week. So we're going to get an intersection of the things that you want to do. Remember, your ideal day is the things that you want to do, things that you're currently doing or things that you plan to do. Say you're not going to the gym currently, but you want to start going to the gym. Or say you're not reading books currently, you want to start reading books. That's your ideal task, right? Then your actual day are things that you are currently doing, not things you want to do, compulsory things. So your ideal day is the final step, and it's just the intersection of the both of them, all right? This is the intersection of the things that you want to do and the things that you are doing currently. Then in between is what we're going to have things that you can actually do. Hence the name, the ideal day. So that's it for these 4 steps, and these 4 steps are exactly the things that I use to manage all the things that I'm currently doing. I would like to add that maybe from afar it looks like I have my life put together and I have balance across all the things that I'm doing, but that's really not the truth. There are so many times that I have to go back to this. I've shared this with some of my friends. Some of my friends, know this particular strategy. I've shared it with them, help them, plan their lives and all the rest. So I have to go back to this more often than not, right? Say throughout a particular week or throughout a particular month, my month didn't go as planned. I always have to go back to this. What exactly went wrong, right? So I have to plan all of these things again. So it's not a one-time thing, then that's the end, right? So you might have to come back to this video. You might have to revisit the strategy again and again. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plan my entire life. Currently my life is not even that put together, so I don't need to plan it. So it's 2 birds with 1 stone. So I'm going to plan my life in front of you guys. I'm going to be sharing my screen so you can see exactly how I implement these strategies and so you can use them for yourself. Okay, so as we can see, I've divided this into, so this is just a folder. So this is summer 24. So summer ends 37 days. I spoke about this in my last video. 37 days from now. So these are things that I have to do. So I already created a folder for this. All right, here.
but just for the sake of this video, let's use this new one. So I divided this into the perfect day, the ideal task, the actual day/week, and the ideal day. So the perfect day, again, are the things that I would do in a day where everything is good. Basically, we have more than 24 hours in a day. I don't have to sleep, eat, or do anything. So I'm just going to be putting all the tasks here. So let's do that. So for my perfect day, what do we have? Well, we have devotion. So this is my perfect day. This is basically everything that I'm going to be doing if possible, right? If I had all the time in the world and I didn't have to do anything. So I would have my quiet time, listen to sermons, I would read books, work on my business, discipleship. So I have someone that's discipling me, obviously. Then I have people that I'm discipling, so both of them. Then 100 DOD, it's something that Apostle Emmanuel Iran does every day, at least at the point of making this video. Then YouTube, that's basically what I share here. Twitter, I share my coding journey there. You can follow me at Tega_tweets, or I'll put it in the description. Then coding as well. Then my internship, the things that I'm doing at my IC place, and then journal. So this is a perfect day. These are all the things that I'd be doing if I didn't have to eat, sleep, or do anything. So these are all the tasks that I can possibly ever do, at least currently, right? So what exactly are the ideal tasks? Now remember, the ideal tasks, they are broken into two, all right? Where at the top or at the higher section, we're going to have all the tasks that are compulsory every single day from your perfect day, all right? So they are not tasks that are alien. You're going to look at your perfect day. What are the tasks amongst all of this that are, compulsory every single day? And then at the bottom, you're going to have tasks that are not compulsory every day, but you're going to put the minimum amount of time. Let me show you what I mean. So amongst all of this, I have to listen to, I have to have my quiet time rather every single day unfailingly. 2 sermons, maybe it's not every day, so I'm not going to put that yet. Reading books, these aren't things that are necessarily compulsory. Remember, I want to do most of these things every single day. We want to write the ones that are compulsory, that you need to do, right? That if you don't do them every day, you'd be very unhappy and unfulfilled and all the rest. So that's my quiet time. Sermons, maybe not. Read books, maybe not. Business, maybe not. Discipleship, okay, no, that's not every day. Disciples, that's not every day. 100 DOD, he doesn't do it every day. YouTube, of course not. Twitter, yeah, Twitter needs to be every day, because my course basically requires that I post stuff every day. Coding, maybe not. Internship, of course not. Then journaling. So these are stuff that I have to do every day. So behind them, I'm just going to put C. So C is for compulsory. Twitter, all right. Then journal, compulsory. Okay. Then for the rest, now the remaining part, I'm going to put the minimum amount of time I have to do them every day. So that would be fulfilled. The minimum. So 2 sermons. Let's start with that. What's that? 2 sermons. Okay. So I listen to 2 sermons, say 4 times a week. I think I'd be good. Read books. Let's see. The minimum amount of time. I think if I read a book 4 days every week, minimum, I'd be okay. Business, I don't have to work on this every single day, but well, I don't have that much time, so I probably do. But if I can work on this 3 days every week, I'd be fine. If I could work on this like fully 3 days every week, just because I have a lot of things I need to do. Discipleship, I already know how long that one is, so there's no minimum or maximum for that. The discipleship is 4 days every week, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 days every week. Then disciples, I think that's 3 days every week. What's this? I'm using no aspect disciples. 100 DOD, that's just 5 days a week. Yep, so 5 days a week. Then my YouTube, So YouTube, we have I think this should be YouTube/Instagram, because I've started posting on my Instagram quite consistently. So YouTube/Instagram. This would be 3 days every week. So days that I would script, days that I would film. So just in case the filming spills over to the next day, has to be 3 days. Then coding. Let's see. Genuinely, if I can, coding and Twitter have to, be the same number. And coding is not compulsory every day because I can't code on Sundays for one. So if I can do 4 times a week, that'll be fine. So that means Twitter will be 4 times a week as well. So this one, remove it here. Right. Then we have my internship. That I just need to check in every 3 days, minimum 3 days in a week, and I think I'm good. Then journal is compulsory, so I think that's that. So this is now my ideal task divided. So now this is now my perfect day and my ideal task, but then I've not put a time to it, I've not put a day, I've not organized a structure yet. So now let's go back to the actual day. I already put my actual day/week here, right? So basically, so I don't have to start thinking, right? So these are all the things that I have to do from Monday to Sunday compulsory. So this is a school program, my discipleship. This is service, church. This is a spiritual commitment that I have. School, church, school, church, commitment, school. Right. So these are all the things that I have to do. Like I mentioned, I have meetings every single day. Right. So I can't miss these meetings. I just have to work around them. So this is my actual day/week. So this would be different, obviously, right, depending on what you're currently doing. So once I get to school, all of this will change. I might not have as many meetings as this once I get to school. I start having classes, all these things. So my actual day/week will change once I get to school. So now is the final part, and it's our ideal day. That's where we combine this and this basically together. So your ideal day. So the way that I like to do this is I like to act like as if I'm waking up. So it's an ideal day. So start from the jump. All right. So I have to wake up. Now remember now, wake up is not your perfect day, because in your perfect day you don't sleep and wake up, obviously. In an ideal day, you have to do that. So you wake up. Hopefully, let's see. So firstly, the first thing that you want to determine in your ideal day is when you sleep and when you wake up. This part is very important because obviously you just determine how much stuff you'd be able to do and what you can put in between that time, right? So I would like to sleep by 11 p.m. then wake up by 6 a.m. So wake up by 6 a.m. That's 7 hours of sleep. So my life will not be cut short. Wake up by 6 a.m. Then shower, obviously. So shower / get ready. Right. So wash my face, do everything. I think 6:45. I should, just in case I snooze the alarm. 6:45, basically. Then immediately I would just like to do the 100 DOD, right? The 100 DOD. So it's about 15 minutes, but I write as well. So let's say done. So we have this done by 7:15. Then listen to a sermon done by, this should be, you can do this in about 8:45. Then we would have breakfast if I'm not fasting. So breakfast, this would be, so here I would use this time to just catch up. So catch up, relax, rest, and all these things. Because obviously I can't be working all through the day, so maybe check messages on my phone, reach out to some friends, all these type of things. So I would give this a lot of time. So I'll say 10:15, right? Think that an hour 15 minutes, make that 10:30. Right, so what else do I have in my ideal task that's compulsory? So I've put my quiet time. Journal is going to be at the end of the day. There's nothing else that's compulsory. So now let's start fitting all of these things here. So after I do that, breakfast, rest, I will just start read a book. So whatever book I'm reading, that season, so done by, I want to give this 2 hours, so 12:30. I have a snack in between, but I should be done at 12:30 hopefully. Then I can start to program. So code, just put code. Done by, that would take 14:30. So sorry, 15. So that's 2 hours 30 minutes. Right. On Mondays. So of course, now this is just going to be my ideal day. This is going to vary. Throughout the day. Obviously, this is going to vary for different particular days. Because, for example, on Monday I don't have any meetings up until 7 and 8, right? And I think that's the earliest. I don't have any meeting earlier than 7. Okay, maybe except Wednesday, right? So it's going to vary. So once I get to 7 on Monday, I know that from 7 up until 9, I can't do anything. Basically, so the ideal day are just things that I possibly can do. All right, they're just things that I can do. It's just like a guideline. It's not to say that this is what you're going to do every single day, because this is what your actual day/week is for. All right, so you probably have to come up with 7 quote unquote different ideal days. Do you understand? You probably have to come up with 7 different ideal days. But basically, working with this, you should be able to get a general idea of the things that you can do. So internship, the reason, so internship and coding are, very alike. They are, at least my internship is still part of things that I'm learning, basically. So I don't have to spend so much time on the internship because I would do that during coding. So I would just have lunch here. So lunch/rest, done by, so 16:30. Hopefully. Then internship, so I could just use about an hour, so 7:30. Then I could do some other stuff. So I've plugged in all the rest. I've plugged in all the other bits. So this is all the stuff that I have for my ideal day. Now, ideally, what you're meant to do is you're meant to do this from Monday to Saturday, depending on the peculiarity of your schedule. If I'm in school, I probably have to do that. But the reason why I can do probably maybe one ideal day and it can work for maybe Monday to Friday, is because I know that the earliest time that I have a meeting is 7 p.m. or 6:30, but majorly 7 p.m. right? So I can look at the tasks that I have and look here. This bit stop at 7, all right? And you see I did not put times here because they are not compulsory stuff. Right, so and it's not every day that I have all these meetings, basically. So it just depends on the peculiarity of your schedule, and then all of these things would fit into separate days. Whether Monday to Sunday, 3-4 days in between, all of that, depending on the type of schedule. You might have to do this from Monday to Saturday, Monday to Sunday. In fact, that's exactly what I'm going to do. But it's going to be very easy to do that because you've already done this. You've already laid down the template for this, done this. At least I know that at least from Monday to Saturday, wake up till maybe sermon or business is going to be exactly the same, right? It's only going to change on some days depending on what I have here in the actual day/week. And that's exactly why I prepare following day schedule, right? So this is not what I'm going to be doing every single day. Every single day I still prepare an individual schedule, because emergency might come up. Maybe there's a special program in church, or my siblings and I want to go out. All these type of things, right, would determine whether I change what's on here or not. So I do prepare a schedule every single day. This is just a template to make you know at least the amount of things that you can do. So that's it, guys. I'm sure that after preparing,
your schedule using the ideal method, you will come to understand that you can't really do every single thing that you want to do. So everything in your perfect day, you probably won't be able to do it, or at least do it to the level that you want to do it to. And that's not the purpose of the ideal method. The purpose is not to make sure that you do every single thing that you want to do. You only have 24 hours in a day, right? The purpose of the ideal method is to make you understand how to use the most of your days, right? So it means that whatever you get after preparing the ideal method, ideally is the maximum that you can possibly ever do. That's the goal, right? And if that's the case, then you can be satisfied with that. So I do hope you enjoy this video. Please share this video if you enjoyed it. If you think it helped you, send it to someone. All right, it did take a lot to make, to be very honest. And I will see you at the same time next week. Take care. And also share what you learned in the comments, or if you have any questions basically, or you have like a video suggestion, something that you want me to talk about in the coming weeks and all the rest, you can also do that. See you next week. Take care.